Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday Messaging, my weekly LinkedIn Live, where I give you some copywriting inspiration for the week ahead. Now, this Monday, I'm going to be talking about something I see happening every summer with travel businesses, and I like to call it the Great Summer Disappearing Act. Now, it's totally understandable this happens. It is in summer when people are very busy during their high season, they kind of get a lot less visible online, even if they're usually very good at showing up and sharing their content. They get overwhelmed with the business of looking after their guests, of dealing with all the logistics, and they just kind of disappear. So while this is completely normal and understandable, it's not ideal, and you're missing out on a great opportunity for marketing what you do. Lots of people, when they go on holiday, I know I do this, for example, they relax, they start to switch off, and they're having a great time on holiday, and they're enjoying it so much that they start to think about their next holiday. They start to make plans. So whether that be their next summer holiday or the holiday they want to go on in autumn or in winter, the mind is starting to think about the next getaway. So if you are not visible, then it's possible you're not going to be top of mind. So what you want to make sure is that you are popping up in these people's lives, in their inboxes, on their social media somehow. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect, and that's really the gist of what I want to say today. Showing up imperfectly is always going to be better than not showing up at all. So, how can you show up over summer, over your busiest season, in a way that's not going to add to your stress and just be like, the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of stress? Well, there's a few things. So, first of all, I mean, email is, well, I love email, but email really is great because, with Instagram, for example, there can be this pressure, especially if you're doing reels or having selfies and you're feeling a bit frazzled. You might be too tired and busy even to want to show up in front of the camera, but email's great because you can just write. So you can just write a little bit, be honest, write a kind of in the thick of an email, write about, this busy, crazy busy time you're having, but make it very positive, make it very enthusiastic. You might just be so busy that you're not able to think of ideas. You sit down to write something and your mind goes blank because you're so tired. So a really good way to get around this is at the end of your really busy days, just send yourself a voice note, like what happened today, who did you work with, what did your guests say. Things that your guests have said to you are so important to document because they tell a story. Every time your guest says something, it tells a story. It's if you note down what guests say in their own words, that's hugely important in copywriting, using the language of your guests. So then you've got their words, and that's something for you to build on in the future. And also questions that your guests are asking you. It's very likely if you're coming into regular contact with guests, they'll be asking you questions. So make a note of these questions and they can be used to structure emails and social media posts around also. If you have, I mean, I know this might seem like a tall order during your busiest time, but even if you have half an hour or an hour that's free, use that time to batch write, say 3 emails. And then that could be, emails for a whole month. It's much easier to write a few emails when you're in the zone and when you've got the time, because so much of it is just kind of like, making that cognitive shift to writing. It's much easier if you've got a short period of time just to do 3 or 4 emails or social media posts in that time. So, yeah, to sum up then what I've said, showing up imperfectly is better than not showing up at all. use this time use this busy time, not just as inspiration for writing now, but this is where you can be building your content bank, which you can work from over the winter months. Really make a note of what your guests are saying to you as well. This is the time when you're going to have loads of guest interactions, and this is really the font of great copy: conversations with guests, answering guest questions, and so forth. So I hope that helps, and I hope that that means you can disappear a little bit less this summer. Having said that, I myself will be disappearing physically, at least over summer, but I'm hoping to practice what I preach and still be very much here and very much visible. But just a couple of points about how things are going to be working from here over July and August, and things to watch out for. So we have the next Tour Pro Talks is coming very soon, and hopefully tomorrow or later on this week, I'll be sharing who my next guest is and letting you know the date and time so you can sign up to that. Now, this will be the last Tour Pro Talks of the season, because I don't really fancy doing Tour Pro Talks when I'm traveling. I'm going away for 5 weeks, and it might be a bit stressful finding places with Wi-Fi and so forth. So this will be the last Tour Pro Talks. Sign up details and guest identity coming very, very soon. And after the summer, I'll be sharing my list of guests that I have lined up until the Christmas season. So that's Tour Pro Talks. However, there will be a couple of events over summer on the subject of writing emails, dates to be confirmed, and I'll be sharing details about them very soon. So even if you came to the workshop I did last week on writing your welcome sequence, these next two sessions, although they'll also be about emails, will be very different. They'll be addressing a different area of email writing. So you can still come along and learn something even if you attended the first workshop. What's the next thing to say? Yes, I am now fully booked. I'm not taking any new clients until September or October. So if you want to work with me in the future, even if you're thinking like October or over winter time, now is a really good time just to send me a DM so we can get something booked in for the winter time, just to avoid disappointment. But yeah, no slots now until October. And finally, as you may know, I am launching a course in September. This is the Golden Inbox course. So you can get direct bookings through email marketing, and it's for independent travel business owners. I will be looking for 10 candidates to join the first run of this course, the beta run, and to help test out this course. And I'll be releasing more information about that shortly. So if you're interested in that, do keep your eyes peeled. Okay, there was a lot of announcements there, so I'll leave you for now, not add any more information to the information dump I just did. But if you want to just basically keep up with some of the things I'm speaking about, probably the best way to do this is, as well as making sure you ring the bell on LinkedIn to get the notifications, the best way to do this is to subscribe to my emails, and I shall put the link for you to do that on the comments, but you can also zap the QR code, which is on the screen. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you all have a lovely summer. Oh, but yeah, I'm going to see you anyway at the next Tour Pro Talks, and yeah, have a good week and speak soon. Thanks for watching.